Hello, welcome to a little cozy autumnal weekend vlog. I have been consuming all the cozy content at the moment and I want to create some. I have got so many fun videos planned for the next month that just fit perfectly into the October spooky season autumnal vibes, and I'm so looking forward to it all. So I just thought I'd add an extra little weekend vlog in because it is going to be October 1st tomorrow. I am so ready to start with my spooky October TBR. I'm so ready. I have got so many more books than what I said I was just going to read in my fictionary TBR. There are so many more books that are kind of on my mental TBR for the next month, and I really want to get to as many of them as possible, including all the ones on my fictionary TBR. I've probably got way too many than I have time to read, but I'm going to give it a go, and that includes starting tomorrow because it is October 1st. So let me give you a little rundown of the TBR for this weekend. I am currently reading The Days at the Murasaki Bookshop. This is by Satoshi Yagasawa and it's translated by Eric Ozawa. This is a super cute and cozy wholesome book. It is just about kind of the slow living pace of this book and the love for reading. It's following our main character who goes to work at her uncle's bookshop. She's not really a reader when she goes to work there, but she discovers a love for it once she gets into the atmosphere and the spirit of the bookshop. This is my Patreon book club pick for September and October, and I am really enjoying this so far. I'm going to be finishing this one today as an audiobook whilst I hopefully do some autumnal crafting. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but this is my current read. And then tomorrow I'm hoping to start one of these two, neither of which is on my fictionary TBR for October. However, I really fancy either one of these. So we've got You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron. This is a super short YA horror. It's got camp vibes. I think there's maybe slasher vibes to it as well. I don't really know, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. And then I've also got The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This is following a woman who goes to investigate her aunt's disappearance 35 years after it's happened at the location of the disappearance. This one also sounds really good, and it's got horror vibes to it as well. There's a bit more, I think, than meets the eye to it. So I'm really looking forward to getting going with my horror TBR. Plan for today is to head out shortly. I would really like to try and find myself a little crafting kit for autumn, preferably a little felting kit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one in Hobbycraft, but I want to see if there's any like little pumpkin felt kits. I just think that would be so cute. I've never done it before, but my mum has and loves it, and just says it's a really nice mindful activity, and I would love to have something I've made around my home. So I'm going to see if I can find something like that. I know they'll definitely have felt kits. I just really want an autumnal themed one, but I'll see what I can get because I think that would be really nice to do whilst listening to an audiobook. I also, whilst I'm up at that end of town, I'm going to head to TK Maxx and have a look in their home section. I did do this earlier in the week, however, no TK Maxx is ever the same, and I am again craving some more autumn in my life, so I want to see if they've got anything cute for like home accessories, because I got candles the other day, but there wasn't much in the way of just autumn decor, so we'll see what they have. I'm not too hopeful, but we'll have a look. I know that Asda has some really good autumnal decor at the moment, and I really want to go and have a look, but we don't have one in my town or in any immediate close towns, so it's a little bit of a drive to get to one, and I'm just trying to work out if I can justify that at some point during the next week or so. I've also got to nip into town to pick up an order and just do a couple of bits, and then I might head to the garden centre. Unconfirmed, undecided on that. I've had a few plant deaths over the summer, which is really sad. There was a heat wave whilst I was in Vietnam, and my mum did come and water my plants for me whilst I was away, but I think some of them have fallen prey to the heat wave, unfortunately. So I have 2 or 3, I think, which is really sad. 2 or 3 plant deaths. So I would like to fill the shells and holes left by those plants. It feels really mean to just replace the plants, but at the same time I don't like the gap that is now left by the plants that have unfortunately not survived the heat wave. So I might head to the garden centre, possibly. Currently undecided, I don't know, because it's a little bit of a drive out of town to get there. Not too far, but it's not around all the other stuff. So that is the plan. Also lots of reading. Tomorrow I'm doing a 24-hour readathon with my Patreons. I do these quite often. There's one coming up at the end of October as well, and it's available to all tiers if you ever want to join. The one at the end of October is actually for a week, and it's all around the Halloween season, so I'm really looking forward to that. But that's happening tomorrow, so I'm hopeful to read quite a bit. I do need to film my wrap-up, but it is still the last day of September today, and I think I probably will finish Days at the Murasaki Bookshop today, so I can include that in the wrap-up. So I'll film that either today or tomorrow, depending on when I finish the book, but that is the plan. It is currently midday, so I've kind of had a fairly lazy morning, so I want to get going and head to try and get some autumnal crafts. Okay, I'm back from my escapades. I did not go to the garden centre. I also nearly went to Asda, but then I got so much in Hobbycraft that I couldn't quite justify it, so haul time. Okay, first off, Hobbycraft and WATERSTONES, because I went into WATERSTONES and I bought another horror book because I can't stop myself. So the book I got is The Hollow Kind by Andy Davidson. I just saw the cover, or the title actually, the spine for this on the shelves and was like, that sounds like a horror. It's coming home with me. Nellie Gardner is looking for a way out of an abusive marriage when she learns that her long-lost grandfather, August Redfern, has willed her his turpentine estate. She throws everything she can think of into a bag and flees to Georgia with her 11-year-old son Max in tow. The estate turns out to be a decrepit farmhouse on 1,000 acres of old pine forest. But Nellie is thrilled to have a fresh start for her and Max and a chance for the happy home she never had. So it takes her a while to notice the strange scratching in the walls, the faint whispers at night, how the forest is eerily quiet. But Max sees what his mother can't. There's something wrong with Redfern Hill. Something lurks beneath the soil, ancient and hungry, with the power to corrupt hearts and destroy souls. A kingdom of grief and death, to which Nellie's own blood has granted her the key. A gripping, achingly atmospheric tale about the horrors that lurk in the dark corners of family history from the acclaimed author of The Boatman's Daughter. It sounds really good. So I picked this up because I can't stop buying horror books. I can't stop. My horror collection is growing excessively. I'm going to read a lot of it in October. I'm okay with it. Then I just went full ham in Hobbycraft. This does have some snacks at the bottom of it as well that I'm going to show you in a sec. But I got this little basket from TK Maxx. TK Maxx's Halloween autumnal selection was not the best. Given that I'd already bought candles the other day, I didn't buy anything there apart from this to keep the stuff that I just bought in Hobbycraft in. But I was hoping they would have autumnal kits. They had a pretty limited selection of kits. They did have a hedgehog one that I nearly got, but I thought actually what I want to make is a pumpkin. So I'm going to look up a tutorial online. My mum is pretty good at doing this needle felting, so I have seen her doing it and I have had a little go myself, but I am pretty new to this, so we're going to be doing some of that in this vlog. This has kind of become a little bit of a cozy hobby vlog at the same time as just cozy days. So let's haul what I've got. This is all what it said online I would need, but also I got some extra bits as well. So first up, very exciting, I got some long needles for the pumpkin because I've got to kind of put some thread in to make the pumpkin segments, and I got a little book thing that you put the needles in, although hang on, are they going to be too long? No, they should be fine, but you put them in so you don't lose the needles. Then I got this felting pen thing. When you get the kits, it does come with stuff like this, but because I wasn't getting a kit, I got this separately, and this looks like it's got lots of different options of stuff to be able to do with it. So, well, you're just felting with it. You're not doing multiple things, but there's different ways to finish your felting with this. And then I got this block that I know my mum uses as a base because you stab yourself in the finger quite a lot with felting, so I got that. Then the actual felt. I went with 2 orange because I am kind of estimating that I might cock this up. I got a brown and I got a green. These are all for the pumpkin. I wasn't really sure what colours I would need. And then I also got a white and a black because I think if this goes well, I might try and make a ghost possibly. So I got all those. Then I got the little threads to make the rest of it. Like I have to thread the pumpkin segments. So I got the orange thread and then I'm going to thread some little eyes on. So I got the black. This is embroidery thread, and I got these, which are going to be the little eyes. Sorry, the lighting is really varying here, but I think that was everything I got from Hobbycraft. We just got snacks left. What is happening with the lighting? Okay, snacks. So I went into Marks and Spencer's, which was right next to Hobbycraft, and they have got such good Halloween chocolate at the moment. I've already got some of their hollow chocolate eyeballs, so I also picked up some of their Yummy Mummies, which is hollow white chocolate, I think. So I got some Yummy Mummies. I got some sour spiders. And I got some Menacing Menagerie, which is caramel-filled chocolate. So I've got snacks, I've got crafts, I've got books. We should be on track for a pretty cozy evening and cozy day tomorrow, which I'm feeling so excited for. So I'm gonna put my audiobook on and attempt to learn how to felt this pumpkin. I feel like it should be easy. It's just a ball with a stalk and maybe some kind of leaf coming out of it. But if I can't do the leaf, I'm okay with that. It should be easy. Should. Let's give it a go. I found a tutorial that literally says easiest ever tutorial. It says that it is needle felting for beginners. I am 100% a beginner. just so you all know where we're at when it comes to any kind of crafting that involves like needles, I had to FaceTime my mum to sew a button onto my jeans the other day. That is where we're at. And I'm not going to call that crafting by any means, but I have never really had a talent for that kind of thing. I craft usually with paper, with drawing or painting or scrapbooking. So this is very much out of my comfort zone, and that is the exact reason I want to give it a go. And I would love to be able to create myself little bits of decor to put around my home that are seasonal and just throughout the year as well. So everything's in a basket. I've got my tutorial ready. I'm gonna watch the tutorial first and then I'm gonna listen to my audiobook, because I think the audiobook is just not going to stay in my head properly if I'm trying to concentrate on the first phase of this. But let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed. I'm optimistic, kind of. I'm going to try to be.
Today I'm going to be showing you how to make perfect pumpkins in around 15 minutes. Yes, it literally takes around 15 minutes to make.
It's not going to take me 15 minutes. I feel like this is going to take a lot longer than that.
Maybe a bit longer when you first start, but...
Okay, I've stopped that tutorial. It wasn't the easiest ever tutorial. She was saying a lot of things and not showing me enough. And that is why I wanted to watch a YouTube tutorial, because I want to be shown, not told. So we're going to do another one. This one's 14 minutes. How to needle felt a pumpkin. They've told me to make like a parcel shape so that one side's smooth and the other isn't. But I don't really know how to achieve that when it's like this, because theirs is all square. So I'm just gonna maybe do this for a bit. Yeah, I don't really think this is what they meant when they said a parcel. That's not... Is that big enough actually? Hang on, do we want a bit more? Oh wait, that's kind of like a parcel. I think that's what they meant, so it's all pinched at one side. But I actually think I'm gonna make that a bit bigger. How forgiving is felt? Like, how much can I piss about with this before it doesn't reshape? If we do it like that... Well, now it feels like it's too big. I think that's too big now, isn't it? Is that right? Okay, we're gonna go for that, and then do I just stab it?
Into the mat.
All I have to do, it's not really doing much, is it? I'm gonna stab myself in the finger with this soon. Oh, okay, no, it is doing something. It's just slowly getting there. Okay, I'll come back with more progress later. Okay, so I have something that resembles a pumpkin. I'm not thrilled with the way the thread went, but honestly I think that's just a lack of experience in not tying in threads, because it was a bit loose throughout. I was trying to pull it taut, but I'm kind of, you know what? I'm not mad about that. The only thing I want to understand is how to like get the loose bits not to be so all over the place, and I don't know if that is literally just a case of stabbing them in a bit more. But I'm sure that's something that will come with experience, or maybe that's just like what felting is, that it just generally is going to look like that a bit. But I think now I'm going to make the stalk and put that on, and then I've got some little eyes to put on it as well, which is going to be interesting because that's going to involve more sewing. So generally, not bad for a first attempt so far. Not to brag, but look at this pumpkin! I made this! I still have to make the little leaf to go on the stem and sew some eyes on. The eyes are the part I am slightly dreading, but I guess if it goes wrong, I don't have to add eyes. But I'm actually really proud of that. For a first attempt, that is a lot better than I thought it would be. Okay, so I've put eyes on my pumpkin, and I think it needs a mouth, but every time I add a mouth on, it looks really creepy, so I'm playing about with different mouth options. And I don't know if actually it's like the eyes that look creepy, and whether they should perhaps be felted rather than sewn on, but the eyes are on, it's just not quite what I thought it would look like. I feel like I've ruined it with the eyes, but I don't know what kind of a mouth would make it better. If like it needs like a small little teeny weeny mouth that's kind of like off to the side. I don't know, I can't quite get the mouth right, and I think that's kind of affecting the other elements of it. So I'm kind of tempted to take the eyes off and do eyes on the like with the felt, because I feel like they maybe would be cuter, and maybe the fact that the eyes are like sticking out of the actual thing is what's not good. I mean, I guess I could just do eyes on the back and see whether I think that they would look cuter, because it's easier to remove the sewn on ones than it is to remove the felt ones. Might work. See, that just looks really sad as well. Does it just... I want to make it with eyes. I want it to be a little character. It's not quite right. Anyway, the oven is on. I need to cook dinner, so I'm going to do that and then maybe come back, look at it with fresh eyes. For dinner, I have got spaghetti, mascarpone sauce with crayfish, some spinach and some cheese and some garlic bread, which is very, very yummy and very easy to put together. So it's a win. I've also got myself a glass of gin, and I didn't mean to rhyme then. Ta-da! Episode 6 of season 4 of Sex Education will be keeping me company whilst I eat. I do not want this show to end. I finished my pumpkin for a first attempt. This is not bad. I'm quite pleased with this. Yes, it's a little bit fluffy in places. I know I can sort that out by poking it a little bit more. I did switch out the little bead eyes for felt eyes. I just felt like they looked cuter. The mouth was quite tricky. I think that was the hardest bit because it was such a small bit of felt to work with. But I'm really pleased with how this went, and I was so pleased with how it went and I enjoyed it so much that I made something else as well. My Friends of Fiction sells some really beautiful little felt creations on their Etsy, and I really want one, but they don't ship to the UK. So in lieu of that, inspired by My Friends of Fiction, I have made my own little felt creation of a little ghosty, because My Friends of Fiction sell loads of really cute ghosts, and he's holding a little pumpkin and he's just... I love him. I love him. I'm so pleased with how they both turned out. They both need names. So please leave some suggestions down below. But felting, yes, I enjoy it very much. It's cozy. It's autumnal in this situation. It's just a nice little hobby to have. And alright, I was looking at a tutorial for the pumpkin on my phone, but other than that, it didn't require me to be on my phone, which was really nice. This guy, I kind of freehanded a little bit, and he doesn't quite stand up, but he's cute. I'm pleased with how it turned out in general. I'm going to finish my audiobook in a little bit. I've only got about half an hour left of that. So I'm going to finish that and let you know full thoughts probably in the morning on that. But at the moment, I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely a really nice, wholesome story, but it also has some more serious tones to it, which has just been introduced at the moment. So it's an interesting contrast of themes to talk about. So really liking that. And then tomorrow, I get to start my October TBR. I need to film my wrap up tomorrow as well, which will slightly interrupt my day of reading, but that's fine. I've got reading sprints all day with my patrons for our readathon. I'm so excited. I'm just having a lovely cozy weekend, and I really hope that you're enjoying this vlog because I'm having a lot of fun making it. Anyway, gonna go finish my book and then start tomorrow my October TBR. Please stay up. Oh no. Yay! It's October 1st! This is the fit for today. I've got a very oversized jumper on with a little crook, which is perfect for the first day of October. I'm gonna just film my wrap up so I know it's done and out of the way, and then I'm going live and we're reading and sprinting all day. Can we take a moment for the setup? I've got my candles burning, I've got a cozy ASMR room on, I've got my books ready, I have laptop ready for live sprints, and I've kind of tried to create like a little throne with my cushions. This is the first book I'm going to be reading. I did very briefly start this last night, but I literally only read a chapter, so I'm really looking forward to starting this one properly and for a whole day of reading. Hello everybody! I have reading updates also. This is my view. I'm immensely happy about this right now. Anyway, reading updates. I finished Days at the Morisaki bookshop last night. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Super wholesome, super lovely, just felt like a warm hug of a book, and just all about a love for books and a love for reading and discovering that love for reading. You've got a mix of characters that have different relationships with books and reading, and I really enjoyed seeing that across the book. It did have some darker themes as well that it dealt with. Ultimately, I just really enjoyed it, and I think it was a really nice book club pick because I think there's lots to discuss in there whilst it just feeling like a really calming kind of book. Complete opposite of that now though. I'm reading You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron. This is set in a camp. It's following some people who put on a game in the summer at this camp where they basically reenact a slasher. People come along and have to try and survive the game. And I think that on the last night, it turns into something a little bit more real than that. So enjoying this so far, but I'm literally 24 pages in, so not far at all. But we've just started the first sprints for the day. Lots more sprints to come, so I'm gonna get lots of reading in. I really want to try and get the audiobook for The Shining today and maybe do a puzzle whilst listening to some of that, because that is on my TBR for October, but it isn't available anywhere like SCRIBD or anything. It's only on Audible and I don't have any credits left, so I would need to buy it separately. So I'm either going to do that or I'll see if SCRIBD has anything that I already have on my TBR that I'd like to listen to, because I definitely would like to have an audiobook for later. But I think this is the first readathon in a while where I don't have like the challenge element to it for myself. I normally want to read like X amount of books within the time, but I actually just want to take it calm and relaxed and just read whatever I read today and just embrace the fact that I'm enjoying it being the first day of October and spooky season and spooky TBR. It's feeling good, it's feeling nice and chilled, and I'm just really looking forward to a nice day of reading. Okay, I finished You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron. This was really entertaining. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a slasher homage and I love books like this. It's making me really want to watch some slasher films, so I might possibly do that later today after sprints. I think this one was the perfect length. It's not too long, so it doesn't really give you the opportunity to feel... Did you just hear that? It's not too long, so it doesn't give you the opportunity to feel bored or to feel like it's too stretched out. There's some really interesting turns that the story takes, and the characters I think were really good fun to follow. There was fear in there from the characters that you as a reader felt invested in. There were moments that were definitely atmospheric. It didn't scare me, but it did definitely build up the tension really well. And I just had a good time with it, and I think there was clearly a real love for slashers in this book, and I love it when you can feel that kind of passion in books. So I really liked this one. This is a great pick. I did manage to get the audiobook of The Shining, so I think in a minute I'm going to put that on after the next sprint break and just sit and listen to that whilst maybe doing a puzzle just to keep going with the cozy hobbies this weekend. I am interested to see what it will be like listening to a horror as an audiobook, because the atmosphere for me of a horror is very much dependent on the situation around me, and usually when I'm listening to a book rather than physically reading it, I am doing something else, an activity whilst I am listening. Maybe it's driving, I might be going for a walk, I might be running, I might be doing a puzzle, for example, and I feel like any of those activities could remove me from that kind of atmospheric horror setting by what's visually in front of me, so I'm intrigued to see if that's going to affect the reading experience. The puzzle I'm going to try and do today, I have been doing for like 2.5 years, which is honestly just embarrassing at this point. I keep getting really stuck on it, but hopefully the fact that I've had a fair break means that I've got fresh eyes to look at it with. This puzzle, oh my god, this is what we're making here. There are so many books that it's so difficult to tell which book should go where, but today I've been focusing my efforts on this area, which I have successfully done. Annoyingly, not that one little bit, but I can't see that bit right now, so we'll have to come back to that. But I'm gonna call it a day on the puzzle for now, because sitting on the floor is hurting my back quite a bit, but I'm pretty pleased with how this has come along. I've read up to chapter 10 of The Shining, and so far we're getting the backstory, establishing why the family have needed to take this job in this pretty isolated hotel, and setting up the creepy elements that I'm sure are coming. So I'm enjoying that so far, but I'm gonna put this away now and I think start a new physical read. currently on final reading sprints with my Patreons. It's been such a good day for reading. I am physically currently reading The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I don't really have too many thoughts on this yet because I haven't really made too much progress, and I've been listening to the audiobook for The Shining by Stephen King, which I am enjoying so far. I'm hoping, because I watched the film so long ago, it's not at all fresh in my brain, so I'm hoping parts of the book can still surprise me, but I do much prefer to read the book before watching the film. But I am still really enjoying it, and there are definitely parts that I haven't remembered so far, so I'm hoping it continues to go down that route. I've been listening to it today whilst doing some of my other cozy hobbies, such as puzzling. I say it's a cozy hobby. I think I've got a bit of a vendetta against my current puzzle. There's so many books and it all looks the same, and we're just going to move on from that. I've been playing a bit of Fae Farm as well, though. That is a game I'm really loving at the moment. I've entered into the autumn season in Fae Farm, and it's so beautiful and such a lovely, calming game to play. So I'm having a great time with that. Just generally, I feel like I've had a really nice, calming weekend, and it's just been absolutely what I needed, and I feel in a really good mindset to enter into Monday on, so I feel all good there. For the rest of the evening, I am gonna, as I said, do a little bit more reading on final sprints, and then I'm gonna try and find a horror slasher film, just, you know, because that's just exactly what you need after a calming weekend. Reading You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight today has definitely made me want to watch a slasher. I'm thinking possibly Halloween, which I think is on Netflix, because I still haven't read that, and I've got some popcorn, so I think that is my plan for the remainder of the evening once sprints are finished.